Hey, everybody. This is Director Becky Wolfinger with the Pampered Chef. I just wanted to do a quick training for you guys on a little bit of host coaching, kind of a part that always gets forgotten about, which is the inviting process. So I know I've been telling you guys over the last couple of weeks how important host coaching is, and really it is where you make all of your money during the show, and your show is just simply where you pick up your paycheck. So it's actually very true, because all of the work that you do on the front side, you're going to see all of those rewards the night you show up at the party, and you see a room full of people that are just packed and hungry to see what you have new and exciting at the show. So starting the host coaching process, I would always recommend very early, excuse me. So the sooner the better in the inviting process. You know, I always like to have my host send out a save the date. So normally for a save the date, I normally use Red Stamp. Which is just an app that you can use for a tablet or a computer. And basically it's a digital invitation. And so what I do is I create that, I send that to my host, and I have them text that out to all of their friends that they would want to invite. And then from there, the next step is pretty crucial, I think, because, you know, the forgotten method of inviting is actually sending a paper invitation, okay? You know, these good old things right here. I think the reason why they're so important is because, you know, when we check our mail every day, we get what in the mail? We get bills, we get junk mail, we get credit card offers. And so a simple invitation is going to stand out amongst all of the stress of checking the mail every day. So I always recommend to my host, that is like the preferred method of inviting as far as me. Now, remember, we are the teachers, okay? Our hosts do not really know how to have a show. They may think that they do, but remember that we are the ones that are to teach them in order for them to have the best show possible. It is our job as the consultant to be the teacher and be the influencer of everything that we want to have happen. So the inviting process, again, you know, we are such a digital world nowadays. So everybody's first method that they want to choose is always going to be Facebook. Most people, I would say probably 80% of people are on Facebook or some kind of social media. And so our first natural thought is to send an invite through Facebook. Now, we know over the last couple of years that Facebook has made some changes, that the inviting process is just simply not effective, okay? It's a good secondary method, but I would tell you that it's not my first choice. My first choice is going to be a mailed invitation, again, because it's a personal touch that sets you apart from the rest of the world, okay? And remember, we're in a relationship business, so everything that we can do to connect on a relationship level with our hosts and with our guests that are potentially going to be at a show is extremely important. So the good old-fashioned hand invitations, you know, they can actually hand these out to people if they want to. But something that I offer as a consultant is simply a service where I mail everybody's invitations for them. It lets me have a little bit more control over the inviting process. It lets me make sure that these are actually getting into people's hands versus me just sending a pack of these along to my host and her saying that she gave them all out. Remember, you are entrusting, okay, your paycheck to your host to do that job. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not willing to let my host have that much control over my paycheck. You know, I count on my paycheck every month to pay my bills. You know, again, I do this job full time. So for me, that's very important. So I would tell you over the last couple of months, I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about the things that I wasn't doing to be effective with host coaching. And this month, I did not have the amount of shows on my calendar that I wanted to have. Okay, so what did I have to do? I had to work my backside off in order to make every show count. And what I found is, you know what? I can do less shows but do a better job of them and make the same amount of money. And who wouldn't want to do that? That's less time out of my house, more time with my family. And I have hosts that are so excited because my average host this month earned about $215 in free stuff. I kid you not. Every party, with the exception of one, my one was $924. Every other one was over $1,000 this month. So, you know, I had 2 shows that were $1,400. So that tells me that I can do this job and be more effective, have happier hosts because, you know, they are totally getting their wish list. And it's the choices that I make in the very beginning, once they book that show, that are essential. Okay. So again, we go back to the very first save the date, send a red stamp invite out, or have them post on social media that, you know, hey, everybody, I'm having a Pampered Chef party on blah, 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 save the date. That's all they really need to post. Okay. The text message, again, I create a red stamp and they can text that out. I find that works. That's more effective than just a regular social media Facebook post. Okay. So the second step, like I said, is sending out a hand invitation, something that they're going to find in their mailbox, and offering that service to your cousin or to your host, because we live in a busy world. And if I can offer a service to my host, that's going to take some of the stress away from her getting these into somebody's hands. But again, allow me to have that control over the invitation process. It's a win-win. Okay. Yes, I know some of you are thinking, well, that's a lot of stamps to have to buy. It is, but guess what? It's a tax write-off. Now, would you rather spend $25 mailing invitations out and be able to collect a $300 paycheck for one party? Or would you rather not send the invitations and stress up until the very last minute, am I going to have more than 5 people at the party? Well, I think it's a great investment of time and of money to spend the $25 on postage. That's going to be a tax write-off for me. And then to reap the benefits, because I'm going to have a packed crowd at the show. I am not only, gaining a huge commission check, but I'm also gaining a lifelong host, because they know how hard that I worked for them in order to get all the free stuff that they're going to get. So here's my little tips for you guys on invitations. I try to keep this process as simple as possible. Now, we do have a brand new catalog starting March 1st. You guys already know that because I've been screaming to the moon about it. So we have these mini catalogs, okay? And the mini catalogs I like to use not as an invitation, but as a way for people to get excited about coming to the party. So we're going to have a combination of things that we're going to mail. Okay. So number 1, I always hand address all of my envelopes. Okay. I do all of the writing on here. And why is that important? Again, it goes back to connecting and building a relationship. Yes, I could very easily type up all my labels and pop a label on there. But when people see that you took the time and the extra couple minutes to write their name out on an envelope and address it to them personally, it gives you a little bit more of a connection. Okay, so part 2 is making the label. Now I'm going to share my screen with you guys real quick, and I will be posting this on our team page. I think it's already actually on there, but I'm going to post it so you guys can see exactly what I'm using, because again, it's something very simple. It doesn't take a lot of time. Every time I mail invitations, the only thing that I have to do is update this part right here. That's it. Okay, now I have my picture here again. Goes back to personalization, them knowing and seeing my face with a smile on it before they get to the party. They know who the consultant is. So all I would do is I would just update this information here in this box. I would just change my host name, change the time, the address, and all this information. This right here, you always want to have this on your invitation, and is your host personal shopping link. So again, if they're not able to make it to the show, they have a way to order. Okay, so then as I update this, I just save it and it's in my files, so I can reuse this 1,000 times. Okay, it's very generic. And it says up here with a brand new catalog. Well, yeah, we always have a brand new catalog, right? Twice a year. And then I have my personal information on here. In case they have questions, then they can always contact the consultant. Okay, so these print 6 to a sheet. Let me stop sharing my screen. And I will show you, these are the labels that I use. I buy them at Staples. I buy them at Staples. I buy a bulk pack. I can get 100 sheets. I think it costs me about $11 or so at Staples. They come 6 to a sheet, okay? And so what I do is I just print that document that I just showed you guys off onto my labels, so it prints 6 on a sheet, and I'm done, okay? Super, super simple. Remember, don't overdo this process, okay? We overthink this process so many times, and people are scared. You're afraid of doing invitations. It's not a hard process, okay? So then we have our packs of invitations that you can buy on our supplies. I get these. These are the newer, updated ones, but you can get packs of invitations on there, the clearance ones, for like 50 cents per pack of invitations. Again, totally worth the investment. So then I have my sheets of labels. Again, there's 6 to a sheet. And I'm just going to peel this off. And instead of handwriting on the back, I'm just going to cover this information up back here. Again, simple, keep it simple, right? So you've got your label in there with all of your show information on it. So this goes in the envelope along with, my fingers don't want to cooperate this morning. I think I need more coffee, guys. Along with one of the new mini catalogs, okay? So again, I'm very intentional about the way I place these into the envelope. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the first thing that I want them to see is not the mini catalog. The first thing that I want them to see is the back of this with all of the show information, okay? So this is gonna go on here with the mini catalog. So see, just like that. And I'm gonna put it in, so when they open the envelope, the first thing that they see is the time and date and information about the party. Okay, and then I just close this up. Regular, your long envelopes, okay, 1 stamp. That's all it takes, okay? It's just regular postage. Now, let's talk about the guest list, okay? So I've been talking to a lot of you guys over the last couple weeks about inviting and about some upcoming cooking shows. And so what I want you guys to stress when you are trying to get the guest list, which I just have them simply type up their guest list and email it to me. And then I just, again, handwrite all of the addresses on the envelopes, is stress 40, okay? You want to always stress 40 names and addresses. Now, one of the things that you're going to hear is, well, I don't know that many people. And so your little rebuttal to that is, okay, so if you were getting married tomorrow or your child was getting married tomorrow, who would you invite? Okay, that's the list of people that you want to have. If you were sending your Christmas cards out, who would you send a Christmas card to? Those are the people that you want to invite, okay? So brainstorming and helping them brainstorm a list, that's our job. Again, it goes back to that added piece of customer service, because we're the ones that are teaching them how to have a great show. So you're always going to run into, and I think it's more of a millennial or my generation type thing, that a lot of us don't have addresses. And so there's a way to get past that too. Because remember, we're teaching them how to have a good show. So their first thing is going to be like, well, I don't have people's addresses. And you can just be like, well, you know what? In my experience, and guys, those 3 words are so important. In my experience, because remember, they're trusting us that we know how to make them have the best show possible. So in my experience, I have found a simple text message with the following words is the easiest way to get addresses so that I can mail your invitations. And I don't have them text out, hey guys, I'm having a Pampered Chef party, blah, 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 blah. No, because what's going to happen right there is red flag number 1. And that is people are going to not send the address because they don't want or are too afraid to say no to a Pampered Chef party. So I have them send out something very generic, which the words came from Carolyn Cram, which is like one of our top consultants in the Radu organization. She is the master of invitations. And it's something very generic. Hey, I'm having a party and I just want to send you an invitation in the mail. Can I have your address, please? Something as simple as that, because again, you're not saying what kind of party you're having. You're not giving them the date so that they can kind of automatically come back and say, well, I have a blah, blah, blah on that date. No, we're just simply looking for the address. That's all we need. Because we'll send the invitation anyway. And I know some of you are thinking, well, shouldn't we give them the chance to say no, they don't want an invitation? No, we shouldn't, because again, this is going to be, when they see that mini catalog, it may spark an interest. Maybe they thought, oh, Pampered Chef doesn't have anything that I want. And they're going to see the mini catalog and be like, oh, maybe I should go check this out. So that's as simple as sending that little message. Okay. Very easy, 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 easy. So you want to encourage them to get a guest list of 40. And why is 40 important? Well, research has shown that around 25% of people that are invited is all you're going to get to the party. Okay. So if you invite 40, you're going to have around 10 to 12 actually show up at the party. And 10 to 12 gives you what? 10 to 12 typically will give you the best results possible in order to achieve $1,000 show. So we always want to shoot for 5, 15, 5 orders before the party, 15 orders at the party, and 5 orders after the party. Okay. So 10 to 15 is the number or the goal, okay, that you should be reaching for with your host when it comes to the actual amount of confirmed guests. And I say confirmed, and I emphasize that because so many times, again, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm hearing that, when we're talking about what your show is going to look like, how many people are coming to your show. And if I ask people, how many people are you expecting? Well, the host said, right now there's maybe 10 or 15 people coming. No. We want to know how many confirmed. Confirmed means actually said that they are coming, guests that are coming to the show. This is important because this lets you, okay, as the consultant, know when a red flag needs to go up. If I contact my host a week out from the party and I ask her how many confirmed guests that she has coming, and she tells me, oh, well, right now I only have 5 people confirmed. Okay, then that means as a consultant and as a host, we need to do a little bit of extra work. So at this point, when they tell me they only have 5, then that's when I go back to reminding them why they booked the party. Now, I was talking to Heather about this yesterday, and you want to remind them why they booked the party. Were they after the pots and pans? Were they after the rock? What was that big ticket item that made them book a party for you? Because they surely didn't just book the party to book the party. They booked the party because they want stuff in their kitchen, right? So a simple reminder of, well, Nancy, in order for you to get that pots and pan set at 50% off, we need to have at least 10 to 12 people at your party so that we can make sure you get it at the best discount possible. Simple. Okay. Reminds them of why they wanted to have the party in the first place. Gives them that sense of obligation that you are not going to let them back down from what they were after. And remember, you've invested time in them, okay? You've invested time, they've invested time, and you both want to have good results. So at this point, when you've talked to them a week out and you're getting that big red flag that there's only 5 people that are confirmed, you have time still to have that host work a little bit harder to get people confirmed to the party. And what I would tell you guys, what I normally do, I normally talk to my host about 3 days before the party. I'm normally messaging back and forth with them about the week, but at 3 days out, I always schedule a time to pick up the phone and talk to them because I want to hear their voice. Again, it goes back to the relationship thing that we want to reconnect, okay, on more of a personal level. I want them to hear the excitement in my voice, but also this gives me a sense of, okay, do we need to do damage control? And at 3 days, they kind of know exactly what their party's going to look like, okay? So at this point, if I feel like they don't have enough people, then I make another red stamp with a reminder, okay, that they can then text back out to all those people that we sent the invitations to. So I just sent out a simple reminder text. Again, it's going to have the personalized shopping link on there. Sorry, there must be somebody outside, so the dog's going to be barking. Ah! Yes, this is real life, guys. So I just create another red stamp. It takes me 3 minutes to create a red stamp, and it's totally worth it. Because again, we are after the numbers. It's all a numbers game. The more people, the more orders, the more people. Okay. So then I tell them, let me know how the confirmations come along after you send this text message out. And then I check back in with them at 24 hours before the party. That way I know exactly how many people that she is expecting. I can touch base about the recipe, make sure she was able to find all of the ingredients. I let her know what time I'm going to be there. And just basically really confirm how excited I am about her party. So I hope that answers some of your questions as far as my invitation process goes. Now, I would tell you that, you know, some of you guys are going to be like, oh, well, I'm not mailing invitations. Okay, well, you're going to get the results of the work you put in. Okay, so if the only thing that we're going to rely on is going to be Facebook, that's the kind of results that you're going to get. So if you choose to rely on Facebook, then please, please, please do yourself the favor and double it up or pair it up with another second or third way for the host to contact people. Because Facebook is just not as effective, like I said in the beginning, as it used to be. And you're not going to get good results and good attendance, which is what you're after. You know, a lot of you guys are kind of on that fine line right now where, you know, we have a brand new catalog come out, and this is like the perfect opportunity to really hit it out of the park and get your schedules bumped up to where you want them. And so it starts with one show. It only takes one show to set your business on fire. And so if you have a show on your schedule, no matter whether it's a cooking show, a virtual show, a catalog show, put all of your time and energy into making that show the best show possible, not for you, but for your host. And I promise you guys, you will reap the benefits of it with bookings, with sales, with recruit leads. That's really what this business is after. It goes back to the hashtag no excuses attitude, guys. You know, I'm not trying to beat you guys up, and for sure, you know, I love each and every one of you guys, but I want you to have the best results possible with every show that you do, because that is the chance to change your life. Every show has the ability to change your life financially. It can give you financial freedom. It can give you just peace of mind. Who wants peace of mind? Because I know I do. So again, if you guys have any questions about any of the information that I've shared with you about host coaching, well, about the invitation process of host coaching, again, there's a lot of layers to host coaching, and we're going to keep walking through that process. But the invitation process is so, so important. Okay, so important. So if you have questions about the invitation process, please, you can send me a PM. You can, of course, on our team page, message me on there or schedule a time to talk with me, because my calendar is back to normal. Anyway, I will talk with you guys soon. Wolfpack, I'm so excited for what March holds for our team, and let's make the most of it.